Good morning and welcome to Mille Lacs Lake. It is mid-October and we have Hayes in the boat and Josh, and we're gonna go after some walleyes that are pushing a little bit more shallow because our water temps are dropping and your walleyes become very, very active into October and November leading up to early ice. So in a couple of weeks we could be ice fishing, but we're gonna take full advantage of the open water that we have here today. What is our game plan?
So we're up shallow on Mille Lacs, like Grant was saying, and we're just gonna fish some weed bays, the backs of weed bays, and then some tips of these main lake points that stick out. You know, Sherman's, Indian, Pike Point, to name a few. This is something that anybody can do. It's a great time of year to do it. Like Grant was saying, when the water hits 55 and down, a lot of the perch flood up into these shallow areas, and you get a mix of walleyes, pike, muskie. I mean, everything's up here at this time of year. Cool. Feeding, and so we're going to take advantage of it. I
like it. We have hair jigs, we have swim baits, and we have live bait in the boat today. I'm going to start off pitching a swim bait. Hayes going to start off with hair. Josh will probably start off with a live bait and just kind of see what these fish want. Try to get something going. Again, we're really coming out here kind of not necessarily 100% blind, but we don't have a good bite going. So we got to figure these fish out, adapt to what's working, adapt to what they want today. A big front just moved through with rain, a little bit of wind coming through, so we got our work cut out for us, but we're on Mille Lacs. We should be able to put a few walleyes in the boat. Let's get after it.
Everyone has their own definition of home. For Dave and Susan Bauer, it's the road. But when a crash and rollover put the brakes on a trip to Florida and stranded the Bauers in the middle of nowhere, they needed to rely on a little help from their friends in the faraway land of West Bend. West Bend issued a check for the damages so quickly that they were able to continue on to Florida in a new truck pulling a brand new trailer, so they could still enjoy their non-refundable place in the sun. Ask your independent agent about putting a silver lining behind wherever it is you call home.
As you can see, that's why those walleyes are in here. All that bait right there that we're seeing in the live scope. I mean, that's just hundreds of perch, of bait fish. Like, there's a lot of fish down there. So that's gonna be part of our challenge today, is to have a walleye actually wanna eat our baits instead of the real thing that's down there. So we gotta act a little bit different. Hayes is really snapping his bait. I'm just kind of slow rolling this, a big wide, slow wobble, trying to be a little bit different from all that bait that's down there. A lot of times that's what you have to do to get these fish to bite. There's a minnow net in the live well here. Fish, 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 fish.
Yeah.
That feels like a good walleye. Come on,
there you go, buddy.
There we go, Hayes.
That's what we.
That feels big.
What we're talking about.
That's a big walleye, man.
Come here. Here you go, buddy.
Look at that, baby. That is the reward. That's it, man. Look at it, just choked that swim bait. That is insane.
Looking under the boat too.
Oh, there's fish down there. Just choked it. Just bam. I mean, that's what you come out here for. That's the reward. That's the fun of it, is just coming out here and doing something all on your own, putting a program together from scratch. That's what it takes. There's a nice skinny 24, 25-inch Mille Lacs Lake walleye. I love it, man. That's so cool. Shallow water, 9 feet. 9 feet of water. That's how shallow these fish are this time of year. Let's get him back. There we go. And that's what it's all about. Just a 4.5-inch white swim bait on a jig head. Casting it out, slow rolling it back to the boat. Funk. I love it. The first fish, I mean, that, to me, that's like today's success already. It's just so much fun to feel that one fish hit this. There's not many times a year that you can do this type of fishing, so you got to take advantage of it in October when the cold weather sets in. This is awesome.
Did it hit it?
Fish, 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 fish. Oh my gosh, did that thing crack it.
That's a walleye,
violent.
for sure.
That was violent. That was like the hit of a lake trout, just whack. That gets this is a big fish. That just gets your heart going. It's
I'm
like
gonna turn
through
the
a high
boat.
quality rod like this Legend X, like that hit just pulsates into your body.
Yeah.
Look at that, guys. Look at that jig. You can't even see that
Ooh, that's
jig.
a fat one.
You
Too.
can't even see that jig.
Here.
Hey, that's a thick one, man.
It's coming together.
That doesn't even look like a Mille Lacs fish. Look at how thick and healthy that one is, man. Look at that jig is gone. That's a 4.5-inch swim bait and a 3/8 ounce jig head. Gone. G-O-N-E. See you later. Big walleye in the boat. Not that long, not as long as I thought, but heavy. I mean, it's hooked the exact same way as my last one. Pop it out. Look at that. That's a beautiful, beautiful Mille Lacs Lake walleye on a breezy, chilly October day, but these fish keep you warm, man. Look at that walleye. Fish, 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 fish. Big fish, big fish, big fish. That thing ate right under the boat. Man.
Oh, hold on. Let me get him here.
That's 3 fish in a very short period of time.
Nice one.
There we go. That is a nice
Fatty.
one. That is a nice one.
Grab him for you, bud.
Beauty. Yeah, that's a good fish, man.
There you go.
Look at that. Hey, we're
Yeah.
doing it.
What do you
We're
think?
doing it.
Yeah. I
We
mean,
are.
look at that. It's a chunky little 18, maybe.
That's nice fish.
But yeah, I mean,
Swim baits. Swim baits. Hayes has been ripping hair. I think you're going to switch now. That's 3 fish for me, and I don't know, not
10
many
minutes.
casts. Yeah, 10 minutes. So I think you got. I think your issue is your hair jig's a little light and you're up too high. Where
Right.
I'm working this right next to bottom.
Yeah.
And bam. Nice one.
beautiful.
Let's get her back.
All right, man.
Oh, that's a really nice walleye. There we go. That is what we come here for. Woo-hoo. Look at that thing. What? It's locked. Sweet. That thing's just buried too in that thing's mouth.
As you can see, Josh is using a red tail and an 1/8 ounce VMC Moon Eye jig. Just a great presentation this time of the year. He kind of just, when you get bit, you kind of just drop the rod to him and you can kind of feel him eat it. These big minnows like this, you want to give them a second to eat it just as you would rigging, but I mean, just a beautiful Mille Lacs walleye. So he's got a nice walleye on. Yep, nice walleye. Just jigging suckers, and there you go, buddy. That's what we're looking for. Right there.
Good little fish.
Yeah. Can't beat that, huh?
Oh.
Nice Mille Lacs walleye. Battling the wind, tough conditions out here.
Yeah, it is. It really is. You can't really feel much from the wind gusting so hard. But
So we've actually resorted to fishing vertically and then pitching behind the boat because, I mean, trying to feel your line in the wind, I mean, it's almost impossible. But yeah, so we got here early this morning. Grant was throwing a swim bait. He was getting bites. We put a few fish in the boat with that. The sun came out, things slowed down. We've resorted to red tails and creek chubs and suckers now, just jigging, and that seems to be putting more fish in the boat, but you really can't beat that. Maybe a 21-inch Mille Lacs Lake walleye. All right, so we're back, where we originally started this morning. Driving up and down this, basically it's like a weed bar, just looking at a couple fish on side imaging here and there. So what we're doing is just spot locking on pods of fish, casting at them for 5-10 minutes. If we can't pluck them out, we go move another 30-40 yards, locate another pod, sit on them. I mean, with this wind, it's really difficult to feel any sort of cast if you're going left or right. So we're gonna throw baits behind us so we have more feel in midday like this and try to pick a few off. But
It's always deceiving through a camera lens how windy and nasty it really is. This is a sustained 25-mile-an-hour wind with gusts to 35. It's windy. You can't cast perpendicular into this wind. You're not going to feel a thing. A walleye can crank your bait and you're not going to feel it. So we are very, very limited as to where we can fish and how we can fish. So we tried to go to a few different areas. We just can't fish. It's just way too windy. Mille Lacs is a huge lake. Waves are, 2 or 3 feet tall. I mean, it's just terrible. So we are going to stick it out right here and make it happen on this spot. It's not a very big spot, but we're going to fish it in a manner with patience, especially midday like this until that 5 o'clock hour. We're gonna switch it up, use live bait. Come 5, 6 o'clock, we're gonna switch to plastics. That's our plan. Live bait's gonna be it right now because it is more challenging conditions, high skies, shallower water, wind, higher pressure. So we're gonna use live bait right now to give us the best chances at success. Let's get some baits in.
All right, so a little tip for hooking your rainbows to keep them on the jig a little bit better. I like to go up through the top of the head. The minnow's got the hard part of its head. That'll hold the minnow on there rather than just sticking it through the lips. Especially in the wind, if I want the minnow to have more action, I might stick it through both those lips, you know, and let that minnow be more free. But with the wind and the conditions the way they are, I'm gonna put it right up through the hard part of its head. That'll keep that minnow on there where you need it to be, and it'll track nice through the water.
Fish on. I'm using live bait right now. Got a sucker minnow on, and Grant and Hayes are just pitching plastics. It's been kind of slow, but I think the fish are finally coming back. Oh, this one's spunky. This is a good fish, really good fish. I'm gonna try to step back here, give Hayes some run for the net. Come on. Come here, Dandy. There we go. That's a good walleye.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, you just can't beat that. Oh,
Ooh,
Mille Lacs gold.
that is a dandy.
Goodness, dude, nice fish.
Yeah, that's a good color on
It's
that
been a
one.
while since we've caught one, but gosh, it feels good. As you can see, the midday lull is over. The big girls have moved shallow, and we're taking full advantage here in this last hour of light.
That's fun.
Buddy sucked a good one. Let's get her back and get another one. Oh, spunky. See ya.
Woo. That was a long midday bite that I can't even say it was a bite because we didn't catch anything. It was tough. It was tough. That wind was just so strong. It made it so difficult to fish. I mean, you can't go anywhere else on the lake besides right next to the shoreline. And I mean, we were severely limited in our options, and it was just hard to even feel your line. So that's part of it, though. You know, there's more times than not you fish a full day and you have a peak 30 minutes here and a peak 30 minutes there, and you know, you just grind it out throughout the whole day for those 2 peak periods of time, and that's definitely what we're doing here. So this morning was very good, and now Josh just stuck that one. We're hoping this is kind of the first fish of the evening, and definitely not going to be the last. So your walleyes out here, you know, midday, that sun's high, there were no clouds, so you can presume the fish slide a little bit deeper, or they could even stay shallow and just like not move. Like we didn't graph anything, there was nothing, we couldn't even get bit. So, but now that sun's starting to get lower, a couple clouds coming in, that was our first fish there. So we're hoping it's a sign of more to come here.
Gosh, it's been a long time coming. What the heck? I don't know how long I've waited for this bite.
Attaboy, Hayes.
Pretty much all day.
Attaboy, Hayes. Yeah, you were pretty quiet today, hey?
Not a giant, but hey, we'll take them at this point. A real nice Mille Lacs Lake walleye.
That's our second in about,
Beautiful, dude.
that's our second in about like 5 minutes.
So we're talking bite windows. I mean, Mille Lacs in the summertime, sure, you can go out in the mud, you can catch fish middle of the day. That's a thing. But you know, you'll notice in the fall and the spring, your bite windows at night and in the morning are like substantially better.
Yeah, and you just have to grind all midday. Like, yes, it's probably going to suck. You know, it may be good day to day, but you know, generally speaking, it's going to be tough. So you just got to maintain patience and, you know, wait for that upcoming bite window. Let's take a
Awesome.
look at that fish.
That is
It's a chunky one.
just your cookie cutter Mille Lacs eyeball. I mean,
Not too shabby.
just inhaled that little, I'm just using an 1/8 ounce jig and a rainbow. These boys are throwing plastics and sucker minnows, and hey, you really can't beat that anywhere you go. About an 18-inch chunky Mille Lacs walleye. They're not missing a meal in the fall. Hey, in the springtime and the summer, they can be a little skinny, but I mean, this time of year, they really seem to fatten up for the winter ahead. I think we got 3 weeks left here on open water. We're out here, we're taking advantage, and Loving every second of it. Let's get this girl back and get another one. Oh.
All right, as you can see, it is getting pretty dark out, and our evening bite never materialized, unfortunately. That's all part of the game, though. You just never know what can happen out here. It very well could have been lights out, but it was not. But we had a fun day. This morning it was pretty cool. It was pretty. I mean, I stuck those 3 that just choked that swim bait. I mean, that was just a blast. Hayes got a couple this afternoon. Josh had a couple this morning, then this afternoon. So all in all, not a bad day on the water. It's just fun to get out here in October and get after walleyes before these lakes freeze up. But we're gonna make one more cast here, and if we don't hook up, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.